standings, Birmingham is 10-2, Andersen is 11-1. I don't know if Chris knows what he's in store for here. This should be kind of interesting because aggressive decks like this, the matchup against Devotion is pretty close. The thing is, Devotion can't kill stuff, so a starting of Frederick Denizen can be very potent against this deck.
I wonder if Bobby's excited about the pile driver reprint.
Maybe just a touch. There's the Monastery Swift Spear.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the Foundry Denizen. There are the beatdowns. Chris might be thinking, oh, Tarka Red. Great. Not a Tarka Red. It's Goblins, man. So Chris, we go. He'll draw a card. He better have a play on turn 2, I'll tell you that much. There's a Forest. There's a Rattleclaw Mystic. That'll be helpful. Birmingham's going to untap. He'll take a draw step here with his Goblins deck. For those of you wondering at home, I didn't pick this feature match. Nick Miller did. This isn't on me. I didn't do anything.
Listen, aren't we all happy right now?
I'm a little happier. I wish Bobby had a third land to play that Hordeling Outburst.
You can Dragon Fodder, which is not bad.
That's not bad at all, yeah.
I guess this is the nuts.
Yeah. A couple triggers here, 5 of them. 2 for each Foundry Denizen, and then a Prowess trigger. There, 4th, the Monster Swift Spear. Here come the beatdowns. Rattleclaw Mystics on a block of Denizen. They'll trade. A bunch of damage going to come across. Back to Andersen, we're going to go. Crystal untap and take a draw here. Basic Force is what he's found. There's a Courser. Top card of the deck is an Elvish Mystic. That's turned back over to Birmingham. Can he draw land number 3? The answer is yes. He will play that.
What's this? I guess the nuts again.
Yeah, it's a Hordeling Outburst. That is the proverbial nuts.
This is great. It's an exciting time to be alive.
Yeah, it's time for the beatdowns.
Get them all in, yep.
Can't stop, won't stop.
If Chris wants to block a Goblin token and need it up, that's fine.
Yeah, he'll have to take 7 to do that.
Swift Spear is a free attack here because it's got 3 toughness. Foundry Denizen is a trade with the Courser, also good for Bobby.
Yeah.
What are the leftovers in hand, you ask for Bobby? Hordeling Outburst, Lightning Strike. Those are the leftovers.
Those are good leftovers. Warm those up for dinner. Oh, the old Goblin beatdowns here. Andersen going to take a long look at his hand, trying to figure out if he has to block the Denizen or if he can block a Goblin token. He's going to block a Goblin token. He's going to take 7 here. It's going to go down to 4.
It's either Denizen or a token.
Yep.
He either trades off and saves the most damage possible, or keeps the Courser around and makes some inroads on the board.
Elvish Mystic, the draw, Courser, Crewfix on top of the deck. There's a Wooded Foothills. Andersen going to go up to 5. He'll sacrifice the Foothills. He's going to stay at 5, -1 from the sacrifice, +1 from the Courser. There's a Basic Forest.
I'm assuming Obelisk is really good in Bobby's deck.
Chances are. I really wish that card had seen more play. I mean, it's very specific, but
right. It is a, for the right deck, that card's really, really good.
Genesis Hydra, the top card now. There's an Elvish Mystic. There's a Genesis Hydra for 1, because he's got some blocking to do, so now he has to shuffle that away and then pass the turn back over to Birmingham, I imagine. A Mountain. Top card here for Chris is a Hornet Queen. That's going to take a while to get to.
Pretty good stabilizing the board, I don't know.
Yeah. Now there are your blocks. Let's just see Bobby is kind of laying them out on what they're going to be. There's a Lightning Strike upstairs, and that is going to do it. Bobby Birmingham's going to win, getting number 1 here over Chris Andersen. Mono Red Goblins, yes. Mono Red Goblins up a game here over Green Red Devotion. A very fast start there for Bobby. Makes it pretty hard for Green Red Devotion to win.
Not a bad draw there from Chris either.
No, not terrible.
Turn, Rattleclaw Mystic, turn 3 Courser, turn 4 some stuff.
Yep.
Wasn't enough.
It'll be a little bit faster than that. We take a look at Andersen's sideboard here. He's got some tools and 2 Hornet Nests, 2 Roast. A Barrage of Boulders can be real good if he draws it. 2 Disc, World Waker, and Uga the Spirit Dragon, 3 Den Protector, and 4 copies of Plummet.
Straight up stuff here, the Hornet Nest, the Roast, and the Barrage of Boulders. Typically, Barrage of Boulders is for matches where the ground stalls out, but 3-mana deal 1, 2, everything Bobby controls is good enough to play.
It's going to kill a lot of Bobby's stuff if that happens.
And Hornet Nest and Roast are excellent here as well.
What do we have on Bobby's side, actually?
A Hall of Triumph, 2 copies of Scouring Sands, 4 Searing Blood, 4 Eidolon of the Great Revel, 4 Roast. Honestly, a lot of this sideboard can come in. I think Scouring Sands is fine. The Probably not going to be coming in, though, because there's just too many cards for Bobby to choose from. 4 copies of Roast, 4 copies of Eidolon, and 4 copies of Searing Blood all seem very solid to me.
Some pretty good options, actually.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Roast is very important for answering the ground. Eidolon is something, it's symmetrical, but, you know, obviously Chris's life total is a lot more precious to Chris than Bobby's is to Bobby. And there's enough Searing Blood targets between Elvish Mystic and Rattleclaw Mystic, other morphs, and also just finishing off threats like Courser Crufix and Whisperwood Elemental.
Fair enough. Both these players will shuffle up here for game number 2. We will very quickly talk about Star City Games Game Night. It's a very popular promotion, thanks to you guys. Of course, on our lapels, you've seen the bunny pin, but we've got some stuff coming here for the next couple of months.
Exactly. You know the program by now. Stores get signed up. We send out these kits every month. They run Game Night, and it's all handed out. This is the June kit. You're running out of time if you want to get your hands on the bunny. July coming down the pipeline very soon. The Piglet. Too late to get signed up for that, but if you're a store looking to get signed up for Game Night, you want to get your hands on the August kit, which is the monkey. Head over to StarCityGames.com/Game Night or contact your Star City Games Organized Play representative.
Call him by his name.
Furious George.
Thank you very much. That's Monkey Month there in August. StarCityGames.com/Game Night for more information as we get ready here for game number 2. Chris Andersen got ran out of the gym by the Goblins, and this is before Goblin Driver is even legal.
Do you think that would slot into Bobby's deck?
I think he would find room for 4 copies.
Would probably find room. Yeah. I think so too.
Cut those stinking Swift Spear. It's not a Goblin.
Yeah, there are a lot of spells in Bobby's deck.
I don't care.
In defense.
I don't care.
It's got a lot of spells.
It's a theme deck.
I know. But I think it's a reasonable card. Would he cut Swift Spear for Raging Goblin?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't think the tribal synergies are that strong. With Pile Driver, though, then that becomes a conversation.
Yeah, and Legion Loyalist. If Legion Loyalist were legal, get that.
Oh, are you kidding me? In this deck?
That'd be easy breezy. Both players are going to take a mulligan to 6.
Do you know what Legion Loyalist and Titan Strength do together?
Combo.
I do. Tom Ross knows.
Tom Ross taught everyone what it does actually last year.
Yep. First Strike and Trample. Pretty powerful there.
Pile Driver in combination with Legion Loyalist.
Oh, my goodness.
Ever heard of it?
That's just a lot of damage.
Oodles.
First strike and Trample on a Pile Driver that's triggering?
That's legal and modern. We'll see you guys there with that. You might be able to get the Nourishing Shoal deck down to 7 before they kill you, but yeah, that's another story.
You gotta get a calculator because that's too much damage to count on my fingers.
It's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage. Let's see if Chris is happier with his opening hand. It appears that he is. He's got a Forest and Elvish Mystic. It's a great place to start. So Birmingham we go. Got a couple of lands over there you can see because of the white border cards in hand. This is a Foundry Street Denizen. Pass the turn back over to Andersen, who will take a draw step. It's a copy of Pelucranos. There's a Forest. Here is a Courser Crufix. This is a great start for Chris Andersen. Back to Bobby Birmingham we go.
No Wild Slashes in Bobby's list. So when Chris goes turn 1 Elvish Mystic and has a solid hand, it's going to be very, very powerful against Bobby.
Yeah. A Denizen, a Frenzied Goblin, and a passing of the turn here for Birmingham. We go to Chris Andersen. Top card of the deck is a Sylvan Caryatid. Forest will trigger the Courser, as long as Chris remembers. He did miss a trigger last game. Here's Pelucranos. This is the kind of draw that's basically impossible for Bobby to beat, I think.
Well, it's roast or bust.
Yeah.
If Bobby has roast right now in a third land, he gets to roast the Pelucranos. He gets to use Frenzied Goblin on the Courser Crufix, and life goes on.
Obelisk Cavert isn't a bad play for the turn. Now all the Goblins are 3/3s, so I don't mind that being the turn. It's still a tough road here for Chris, though.
Yes. I mean, the more and more that Chris is just able to gum up the works, the more that he gets to one of his big plays, and one of his big plays will end the game.
Yeah.
So this is better than nothing, but, you know, Chris just being able to generate blockers is going to overpower even this kind of setup for Bobby.
Top card of the deck here for Andersen is Death Mist Raptor. There you do see Obelisk Cavert, a card that hasn't seen a ton of play. I know many players have tried because it's a really powerful card.
The deck demands are very specific, but there's no denying in the right deck this card's extremely powerful.
And it does seem as though we are moving maybe more towards a more tribal approach here in Magic Origins.
A lot of goblins, a lot of elves.
A lot of elves. Could be pretty good. You see a morph there from Chris. See what's coming Bobby's way now. Frenzied Goblin could be useful right now. Yep, he's going to activate Frenzied Goblin since Pelucranos can't block into the red zone. He's going to go. Chris is going to predictably block here, as I think he should.
He needs to get Frenzied Goblin off the table. That unlocks Pelucranos, and then Pelucranos is too big to attack through.
Yeah. The Morphos Rattleclaw Mystic. For Bobby, I believe it's all lands in hand. He's going to play a land and just pass the turn back.
It's a shame for Bobby, because if Bobby even had some, Dragon Fodder or Whirling Outburst, he could keep going.
Yep.
I mean, it would not be a done deal now, but with 2 lands in hand, there's just not enough going on his side of the table. Also, Chris can just start attacking.
The draws with this deck can be very explosive, though. You can just kind of see, really, what the deck is capable of. Chris is certainly doing some powerful things on his side, however, as well, with Blue Chronos, Death Mist Raptor, and Sylvan Curated back on defense. The tough part here for Bobby is that he's playing a deck that it can't really afford to draw more than, I would say, 4 lands. Yeah,
this is another type of deck where you feel the lack of Mutavault very strongly.
Yeah. Obelisk Convert number 2 is not bad. The Goblins are 5/5s now. Hornet Nest on top of the deck. That's the kind of card Bobby does not want to play against.
No.
He's got to hope that doesn't show up for game number 3. Because
Frenzy Goblin, really important for him to beat that card, because it's very hard otherwise.
I think we're going to be heading to a game number 3 here in a little bit. I don't think Bobby's going to be able to weather the storm and get through this. But now that he's got the information of Hornet Nest, I don't know how it's going to affect his sideboarding or not, but it's a very hard card for him to beat. Chris will play. Oh, there is a Hornet Nest, so it's going to be tough. There's a Frenzied Goblin. It's a 5/5 along with the rest of the Goblins out there. Those Goblins are all huge. Hornet Nest to draw here for Andersen. Top card of the deck is a Forest. That'll trigger the Courser. Barrage of Boulders on top of the deck. Chris going to play a copy of Dragonlord Tarka right now. Oddly enough, Dragonlord Tarka only gets to kill 1 creature instead of them all like it typically would be able to against Goblins, but killing that Frenzied Goblin is good enough.
And the no blocking clause on Barrage of Boulders is now significant, because these creatures are no longer killed.
Blue Chronos will trade with a copy of Frenzied Goblin, pass that turn back over to Birmingham. There is a mountain.
We have 1 spot left.
7/7!
Yeah,
a new record!
That's a really big Frenzied Goblin. Barrage of Boulders is actually relevant right now.
Congratulations, Bobby Birmingham. You have set a new record for most toughness on a Foundry Street Denizen.
That's true.
If the Guinness Book of World Records tracks this sort of thing, you have broken the record.
Which it does.
It does.
It does. Barrage of Boulders being cast here. Bobby going to take a look at the ferocious side of that, which means he doesn't get to block. Is it enough damage? Oh, I promise it is. If Dragonlord Tarka is involved, it's enough damage. And Chris Andersen's going to win game number 2 here against Bobby Birmingham. Even though Bobby did set a new world record, he's shuffling up for game number 3.
All right. So the terms of engagement very well defined here. When Bobby gets off to a really good start, Chris is on the back foot. He has to block with mana creatures, and Bobby can finish off the game. When things slow down, Chris gums up the works. We know whose deck is more powerful.
Well, for Bobby, fortunately for him, he's on the play here for game 3.
Oh, that's where he wants to be.
That's exactly where he wants to be.
And there's a couple cards in his sideboard, Eidolon the Great Rebel and Searing Blood, that are a lot more powerful for him on the play than on the draw in this kind of matchup. Searing Blood on the draw, he has a Elvish Mystic on turn 1. He goes into a Courser. It's already too late to Searing Blood the Elf, for much effect. On the play, you start with a 1-drop, you Searing Blood the Mana Accelerator. Awesome start. So many of these cards get a lot better for Bobby on the play.
Well, we'll see how those cards play into things here for game number 3. We'll very quickly talk about regionals here with Star City Games. You see the locations and the date, August 1st. Going to be coming up sooner than you think. And if you like Goblins, Pile Driver will be legal for that tournament.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be with Magic Origins' Pro Tour weekend. So if you're not qualified and you're in the United States, we got plenty of tournaments for you to play in. The venues are listed here on the map. You can go over starcitygames.com/regionals for more information. You're looking to qualify for the Invitational, Open Series points, or just play in some high-stakes cash tournaments the weekend of the Pro Tour. Regionals tournament for you.
Can't forget about the awesome playmat that will be available as well. There better be a Goblin hanging out in there somewhere. I think there is, along with the rest of the Creature Collection series with Star City Games. Free and exclusive playmat to the first 200 players. StarCityGames.com/regionals. More information there. August 1st. We will see you there. Be sure to plant your flag at your local regionals as we get ready here for game number 3 between Chris Andersen and Bobby Birmingham. Goblins, Goblins, Goblins on the play.
The Obelisk is a really important swing card for Bobby in this matchup too, because there's so many cards like Courser, Krufix, Sylvan Caryatid. They're very effective blockers against Bobby's creatures when they're their natural size, but when they're +2/+2, those defensive measures don't work anymore. In that mid-game, once Dragonlord Tarka showed up, it was too much. But in that mid-game, with a Hordeling Outburst, the Dragon Fodder, Bobby was on the verge of being able to kind of work his way through Chris's board because of Obelisk. It gave his creatures enough punch to be able to fight against the large green creatures that Chris was bringing to the table.
Both players going to take a look at their opening hands here in just a moment. Bobby having a great tournament at 10-2 with his brew. Chris Andersen obviously having a great tournament. He's 11-1. He's right near the top of the standings, looking to go back-to-back top eights. We saw him make the top eight in Indianapolis last weekend. Got knocked out in the quarterfinals by Kent Ketter. Eric Rill eventually the champion of that tournament. Andersen looking to go back-to-back here with Green Red Devotion. He's in prime position to do so, though. I think he's in a tough matchup.
Yep.
And he's in a bad spot because he's on the draw.
I think the matchup, I think this is a really swingy play draw matchup.
Me too.
It's hard for both of these players to handle the other person's best draws when they are on the draw.
Yep. Both players going to keep. We are underway here. It's a Monastery Swifter to start here for Birmingham. Andersen down to 19 immediately.
Not a goblin, but we'll let it slide.
This time. Lack of options. A temple here for Andersen. Top card. It's going to stay on top. We go Birmingham's way. Give me an explosive turn two, Bobby. That'll work just fine. Dragon Fodder, two goblins and a prowess trigger.
Now the swing card for Chris against these kind of draws is Hornet Nest. Yep. That's his way of being able to stabilize the game.
Rattleclaw misses the draw here for Andersen. He'll play a copy of Sylvan Caryatid. The 0-3 is pretty nice here. Birmingham will take a draw step. He'll play a land. It might be a Rabble Master here, and it is. That'll bring a goblin along with it. Everybody's crashing into the red zone. Chris will block one of those creatures. He'll take 3. He's going down to 14.
I mean, even Pelucranos is too slow for this kind of draw.
It's a little slow here because Rabble Master is going to be absolutely huge. And if Birmingham does have a roast, it's going to be bad news. A land entering the battlefield tap's not great either here for Andersen. It's a Morph, which is a Rattleclaw Mystic. Birmingham's going to untap. He'll take a draw step here in just a moment. Another Rabble Master to draw here.
Oh, my goodness.
Hordeling Outburst, too. Looks like he's going to cast an Outburst. That'll trigger the Swift Spear. 3 more goblins on the way. There'll be another goblin coming in just a moment here, but a Stoke the Flame's going to clear out the Morph. You'll get a trigger from the Rabble Master so long as Birmingham does remember, which he has. This is going to be a lot of damage for Chris to take. I'm actually just going to take my headset off, and I'm going to go play an 8-man pickup event because
that was 11 damage that turn?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah.
10 maybe. I mean, it was a lot.
2 prowess triggers.
Oh, 2 prowess triggers. Yeah, 11. You're right. Of course, our crew fakes the draw. A little late.
It's funny, Dragon Lord and Tarka wouldn't even be able to stabilize this game. There's just too many knuckleheads on.
Yeah.
On Bobby's side of the table.
Barrage of Boulders. That is actually really good.
Little late.
Yep.
I don't know if he can get to it.
There's Wooded Foothills. Chris going to come up to 5. You don't know if he can get to it. I'm positive he can't. There's an extension of the hand. Bobby Birmingham going to win this match over Chris Andersen 2-1. Mono Red Goblins. I think that's heading over to the sideboard. Who are we kidding here? He's 11-2, baby. Chris Andersen also 11-2 now. Not a great time for a loss, but sorry, Chris. Bobby Birmingham's the story this round.
Yeah, I mean, he's won the hearts and minds of the viewing audience, that's for sure, including 2 coverage people over here in the booth.
That was a beatdown.